Well, now what you've all been waiting for, I am really excited to introduce our first keynote speaker, Jay Mctighe. Jay is an accomplished author, including the award-winning and best-selling Understanding by Design series. He's published over 30 articles and book chapters in leading journals, including Educational Leadership. He brings a wealth of experience serving as director of Maryland Assessment Consortium, school improvement projects with the Maryland State Department of Education, where they developed performance-based statewide assessments. Jay facilitated an excellent day-long pre-conference yesterday for us on 21st century curriculum design. We've asked him to deliver the keynote this morning, emphasizing our theme that I mentioned, the new era of leading and learning in education. Please join me in welcoming Jay Mctighe to our conference.
Good morning. Sound test. Good morning. Fire up my computer. I'm here with my wife Daisy, who has never been to the beautiful state in this part of the country, and I told her that this was a representative day. The clouds got over here. I don't think she would. But I am happy to be with you, and I'm going to fire up my presentation and make some opening remarks. Given the theme of your conference, this is what I've been asked to address, a new era of reading and learning. And I've thought a lot about this, and I'm going to propose an alternative to the traditional keynote. And I hope by the end of my time with you, you will find this to be interesting, thought-provoking, and also giving you a practical and replicable exercise that I believe is a perfect one to use with staff for an incoming school year. So you can be the judge of that. But I hope you find this interesting and practical. So I'm of the practice of testing the AV before presentation. So does it sound okay in this room? Here in the back? And I'm going to make sure that from where you're seated, you can read items on the screen. Some of them type my slides are a little small. I think these two big screens should work. So I have a test, and I want to ask you to look at the screen. I also thought you might enjoy this because this is something we never taught you in grad school or administrative training. It's a flow chart for problem resolution. Have a look. So I judge your response that A, you can read the items on the screen where you're seated, and B, you have a sense of humor. You can't read them. This is the options. But you can say in a sense of humor won't hurt you. So I've been pondering this theme in anticipation for my talk. And one way it was easy for me is because I'm a new grandfather. First-time grandfather. And so I'm thinking about education and schooling more pointedly by watching Little Sage, our granddaughter. One of my favorite quotations I've had for some time, but I coupled it with Sage's picture. And I think a lot about this. What kind of experience do we want for the Little Sages coming up? Partly we know things are different in our world. We can Google much of the world's knowledge on a smartphone. So what does that mean for reading and learning? So I want to explore this with you, and I want to invite you to identify a couple of people seated nearby, because I want to provide some provocation and invite your conversation about a few ideas. But I also want to engage you in an exercise that I have found to be interesting and I think important to this theme. And as I mentioned, it's a replicable exercise. If you like the exercise, you You can use it with staff back home. But I need you to be involved in the group for this to work. So could I ask you please to identify 4 or 5 people seated nearby? It could be within your row, or it could be across rows. A few of you might have to just move to be with those folks. Please identify a couple of people you can get along with for 3 minutes at a stretch and introduce yourself. Okay, thank you. Looks like everyone has a group that wants a group. So, several times during the next hour or so, I'm going to pause and invite you to converse. By the way, you can do this standing if you wish, or if it works, you can move your chairs around so you're close to each other. And I want to give you a chance to respond to a few ideas and then engage in this exercise that I referred to. So thinking about a new era of leading and learning led me to think about some of the initiatives that I see going on around the country. Have a look and see if your school or district is involved in any of these initiatives or efforts. I'm sure we could add other words and phrases to the list, but there's a lot going on. Many schools have multiple initiatives, some are making structural changes. And I could talk about any number of these for an hour at least. But my intention and my basic message in this session is, I think we need to ground any consideration of new initiatives or new structures in something more fundamental, and that is what we know about deep and meaningful learning. I also think any initiative in a new era needs to be thought in a systemic way. I've seen too many occasions in my 45-year career where well-intentioned initiatives never took root. Not because the idea wasn't good, but because the structures weren't there to support the initiative. So I want to share a couple of ideas with you about any new initiative to launch in a new era. The ideas I want to share with you come from a book that I co-wrote with my colleague Grant Wiggins. The book was published just 10 years ago, in fact, so it's not hot off the press, but the ideas of it I think apply today. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you a couple of ideas from the book. It attempts to present what I would call a systems framework for considering any initiative, program, or effort in our new era. One of the analogies we use in the book is to think about education as like building or construction or more generally architecture. And so we have a graphic organizer of a house or a building. Permit me to show you the graphic and the elements within it because it's a systems view, and then I'm going to pause for your comment on this conception. So we propose that like any building, education needs firm foundation. And in our book, we discuss 2 foundational elements that we think characterize the most effective schools. One is clarity about mission. The mission of a school or a district defines what they're in business to achieve. We found that many mission statements are kind of apple pie and motherish. All children can learn. But our contention in the book is that we need to have a mission that's more specific and outcome-oriented in terms of what we're trying to produce in learners. Clarity about mission should influence action and should help us make decisions about what initiative or program or structure we have in place. The second foundational element has to do with learning. We contend that schools and districts should actually develop an explicit set of principles of learning, reflecting best practices and research. Now, my experience is virtually every educator I know, from a first-year teacher to a veteran superintendent, has beliefs about learning. Often those beliefs are internal, they're in their head, and presumably they affect their action. What I found is less likely, however, is making those beliefs explicit, talking about them with colleagues, and ideally agreeing on a set of underlying beliefs and principles of learning that guide our collective action. I'm going to talk to you in more detail about the second foundation shortly. So, playing out our conception here, building on the foundation of a clear, compelling, and modern mission, and a set of explicit beliefs about learning, reflecting learning principles. Schools and districts have a curriculum and assessment system, and I highlight the word system. The curriculum is a means to an end, and the end is defined by our mission and the academic standards toward which we work. The assessment should provide evidence, not only of the things that are easy to test and grade, not only mimics of the state test that's in vogue this year, but assessments that give us evidence of all of value, including those in our mission. Building on a curriculum assessment system, we have instructional practices and programs, how we teach, what materials we use for instruction, and so forth. Teaching is a means to an end, not an end in itself. The instructional strategies and techniques we use, programs we employ, the resources like textbooks, software, etc. that we bring in should be in place to help us meet our mission, achieve our curricular goals, and reflect what we know about learning. Moving up the house of schooling, things that many of you in this room spend time dealing with, in fact, much time, have to do with personnel. And the systems framework, our book describes aspects of personnel, including a fundamental essential question. What's my job? What's my job as a teacher, if this is our mission? What's my job as an academic leader? What's my job when I'm not with students, i.e. being a member of a PLC? So we describe and define aspects of personnel linked back to mission. Here's a particular example. If we've identified explicit principles of learning, those principles should apply not only to how we teach children, but how we think about professional development for the adults in the building or in the district. So there's a link right here. Appraisal. What do we look for when we visit classrooms? What kind of feedback do we give staff? We think those questions are grounded in our mission and our beliefs about learning. The final part of the graphic gets at issues of policy. Some of these are internal, school policy or district policy, and some are external, state or federal policies. Structures are in the mix. By structures, we're talking about all the things for how schools are organized, including grouping students, scheduling, grading and report card practices. All of these are school structures. The placement of structures at the top of this graphic is meant to suggest that form should follow function. The structures we have in place should be in place to help us meet our mission and manifest what we know about learning. Reality, as many of us have noted, I suspect, is that sometimes the structures get in the way of what we want to do. Is a 42-minute, 7-period high school day optimal? Does our grading and reporting system truly report on our mission-related outcomes, as opposed to just grades and subject areas? And how are those grades determined anyway? Resource allocation is at the top here also. How do we spend our valuable resources? Time and money. And doing the time and money analysis should, in fact, reflect back on our mission and what we know about learning. So my point here is this is a systems visual, systems graphic, and you can look at virtually any initiative or program through the lens of these elements. Now, two other points, and I'm going to pause for your reaction. In our book, we wrote about two process elements, and I wasn't sure where to put them, so I put them on the move line. One is the idea of using, quote, backward design, not only as a curriculum planning process, which Grant and I have just written about, but using it as a school and district planning process for any initiative or any program goal. Planning with the end in mind means, in part, focusing on mission and curricular outcomes, and being mindful of learning as we plan out whatever program or initiative we have in place. And we've also described what we call strategic principles for change. Here's a simple but effective one I found. Strategic principle for any change. Think big. As leaders, you have to have a long-term grand vision of what you're trying to achieve, and do your best to communicate and engage people with that vision. Start small. Every school and district person I know is already overloaded. The idea of bringing in any new thing can cause a tipping point. So while we need to have a grand, long-term vision of what we're trying to achieve, I think starting small. And the third part of the aphorism is go for an early win. I've seen too many initiatives that are well-intentioned and well-grounded, in fact, fall short because we try too much too soon with the wrong people, as opposed to thinking big and starting small, and starting with the people who we think could make it successful and building on that success. So the book has these principles described. So permit me to show you one simple but interesting, I think, example of how systems thinking is manifest. And the example I want to share with you came from a Texas administrators conference, not unlike COSA some years ago. I was presenting a session around this framework I'm showing you. And at the end of my talk, a gentleman came up to the front of the room and he had a leather attaché case, I remember. Put it down on the table and he started rifling through it. He goes, I have something you're going to like. And he pulled out paper, and I recognized it as a purchase order form. It was multicolored, and he even had the little perforated strips that you rip off. And he showed it to me. He said, here's what we're doing in my district. And I looked at it, and I remember there was a little logo of a school at the top, and the district name. And then there was the mission of the school district in bold type, right below the logo. But then what he wanted me to see was below that, in italicized letters. The question on the purchase order form was, to what extent or in what ways will this proposed expenditure help us meet our mission? And I was impressed. I said, wow, I've never seen anything like this. What's the story and how's it working? He said, well, last year, you've been following the press. You knew that we had major state budget cuts. In some cases, as much as 20%. And I had a meeting with all administrators and program directors and said, oh, you know what's out there? We've got to immediately tighten up. And he said, I decided I owed everyone in the school district to know how we were going to make budget cuts and what would be our priorities. And he said, other than fixed expenditures, heating oil and supplies, janitorial supplies, he said, I wanted people to know that I'm going to scrutinize every major purchase order against the lens of, is this going to help us meet our mission? He said, wow, I've never seen anything like that. How's it working? He said, I think it's working. He said, this summer I was going through one of our high schools and I saw the athletic director who came up to me and he said, I was going to send you a proposal for new blocking sleds for the football team, but I figured you probably wouldn't approve it. Point being, thinking systemically makes a difference. And when we look at any initiative or program, thinking about these elements is necessary. So let me pause and give you a chance to comment. What do you think about the ideas of this graphic and the more general ideas of having a systems approach to any initiative or program that we might look for in the new era? 3-minute pause with your group mates. So I wanted to let you know that Colin Cameron has posted a set of materials I put together around this keynote, and it has the graphic that I just showed you on the screen. And then some ideas related to really the main focus of my session, which is going to zero in on only one of these elements. I'd like to take a closer look at the idea of identifying a set of learning principles for school or district that are explicit and that we can use to ground any initiative, program, or educational effort, particularly as we try to bring in new programs or structures or techniques. My contention is they should be grounded in and by learning principles to make them most effective, and to help people see how any new initiative connects with other things that are happening. So let me describe learning principles, and then I want to show you some resources associated with them and engage you in the exercise that I mentioned. So learning principles. These are statements about learning as principles, LES. These are typically derived from research and best practice. However, they should also reflect our experience. They should have face validity, not just something you have to go to AERA to decipher. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we engage people in coming up with such principles and making them explicit. But my experience is once we have a set of learning principles identified and hopefully agreed to, they become the basis for making decisions, for enacting anything. They keep us grounded, in other words. So, how do you open up the discussion of learning principles if you haven't already done this on your school or district? My contention is you can have a small committee look at research and come up with a set of principles and then lay it on everybody. But unless people have had a chance to think about it and engage with it, it just will be one more thing on their overloaded plate. So my contention is we have to actively involve staff in thinking about learning principles. And in my experience, there are two ways of doing this, and I want to show you both of those in our remaining time. The first is to present staff with a set of developed learning principles. And I have a couple of these in the packet that you can access from the COSA website. One is a list of 10 principles of learning identified by Dr. Ron Brandt. Some of you recognize that name. He was the longtime editor at ASCD in charge of Educational Leadership Magazine and many of the fine publications. Before Ron retired, he, always interested in educational research, wrote a small but I thought wonderful little book called Powerful Learning. He said, from the research, I think you can conclude there are 10 principles of learning that influence how people learn and how people learn well. For example, people learn well when they learn something that is personally meaningful and they feel a need to learn. When they have opportunities for social interaction. When the environment supports the intended learning. I mean, these should be pretty basic and straightforward. So one approach would be to present a list like this in a faculty meeting or to a group, and ask them to look over the list. And before I ask for any agreement or disagreement or questions, I like to say, pick one or two of these principles with which you agree, and then think about, in a practical way, what this would mean in my classroom, or what would I see if I visited classrooms where this principle was enacted. So, for example, if we say that people are likely to learn well if and when they have opportunities for social interaction, we would expect to see opportunities, at least from time to time, of kids working in pairs or small groups in productive ways. That's a practical implementation or application of that principle. So you can present teachers with this list, have them identify one or two that they strongly agree with, and think about the practical implications. There are a number of sources of learning principles that have been developed. In our book, Schooling by Design, Graham Wiggins and I identified a set. The American Psychological Association has a set of learner-centered principles. Lauren Resnick's group, the Learning Research Development Center at the University of Pittsburgh, prominent cognitive psychology group, has their principles of learning. And I've included these in your handout, or the handout that I have for you. So my point here is, you don't have to spend hours or months or having committees combing the research. There's been a lot of good syntheses of learning principles that are out there. You could take one or more of those, present them to a group, have them talk about it, think about it, question it, to get into the doorway into this conversation. And Ron Brandt's is just one. So here's a more pointed recommendation. I recommend that you engage staff in thinking about learning principles. You could use one or more of these established sets to have them discuss. And then, ideally, press for endorsement. I've actually been in schools and districts where they've made this a formal kind of process, whereby teachers are asked, after discussion, debate, hopefully some consensus agreement in writing, to have people sign off. Say, not only do I agree with these principles of learning, but I'm committed professionally to try to enact them. Now, I can't speak for your situation. I can imagine some places where the union might walk and say, no, we're not signing, or whatever it might be. But I think it's an interesting proposition to say, this is so fundamental to our work that we want to sign off.
I have no idea.
Here's an example of a process of that very thing, of staff review, discussion, and sign-off. This was from a public high school in New York City. The principal used a set of principal AL, used a set of principles LA from Schooling by Design. We had 10 principles of learning. And these were presented to faculty in advance of a staff meeting with the idea being, we want to discuss and hopefully agree to a set of principles that will guide our work in next high school. Please review these and come to the meeting, we'll discuss them. People came to the meeting and they were asked to sit in heterogeneous groups, mixed up by grade and department. And they had an initial conversation about the principles of learning. They then had opportunities for questions and comments. And then they had a poster making machine, and they had 4 posters in 4 corners of the meeting room. And staff, having colored stickers and post-it notes, were invited to review the poster nearest their table, put a sticky dot on any of the principles of learning from the set with which they strongly agreed. They also were invited to make notes, so they could raise questions, make proposed edits, add a learning principle that wasn't on the list, and so forth. Here's an example from one of the posters. So this occurred in a regular faculty meeting, 42 minutes, which was by union dictated. And so by the end of the meeting, they had had interesting discussion about learning principles, and they did a gallery walk, so teachers, after voting, so to speak, with their colored dots, they could look at the other dots. Subsequently, someone from the staff people pulled together all the votes, if you will, and summarized it. And they also had a list of questions and proposed edits. These were sent out by email to department chairs. The directions to the department chair for the principal was, sometime between now and the next faculty meeting, 6 weeks from now, discuss this list with your department. Talk specifically about if we adopted this principle or that principle, what would it mean for our teaching and our assessment? And send me any notes or edits that you have. The second faculty meeting, 6 weeks hence, had a revised list and a proposal that of the 10 learning principles initially presented to faculty, 6 had a high number of votes and overall were well received by the various departments. And that was a proposal for the faculty. And they actually asked for, they had further discussion in the second meeting, and then they asked for a sign-off. Principal told me nearly 80% of the faculty voluntarily signed. that they believed that these principles were sound and they were committed to try to enact them. And he said, look, if I get 51% of any agreement of my high school faculty in New York City, I come victory. He said, this was huge. And he said, I have the critical mass to move this forward. Most important part going forward, however, if you have an agreement of this sort, is that you enact it. You act on it. These are not just a list, one more list of things that we're to do. This should be a grounding document that informs how we make decisions, what we look for when we visit classrooms, ultimately how teachers teach, and what we look for in student work. So having a list like this is a starting point, not the ending point. But that was one process that I wanted to show you. I want to take another pause and let you react to the ideas you've heard, the practical technique that I suggested, your thoughts on this today. Talk among yourselves, stand if you wish. I might ask your attention. So assuming you see a value in having a discussion about and ultimately agreeing on the 7 learning principles, I showed you one approach. Present faculty or a team with a established set. And as I said, I have 4 different examples in the handout. And by the way, when you look at the 4 sets of learning principles developed by different individuals or groups, they are much more similar than different, as we would expect. But so one approach is just present a list to a group, have them discuss, debate, edit, vote on it if you wish, and then you have at least a starting point. You have a set of agreed principles of learning. That's one approach. Second approach I want to share with you is my favorite. And I hope by the end of the next 20 minutes or so, you'll see virtue in this, and it's something you may want to replicate. In the handout on page 7, just note that I have a worksheet for this exercise. So if you want to replicate this back at home, you can do so. Since you don't have the handout here, you won't need it. Let me summarize the exercise. This is an inductive process for engaging faculty and colleagues in thinking about learning. And once again, it's been my favorite. So here's how it works. The exercise is called Best Design for Learning, or Best Learning Exercise. Let me set this up, and I'm going to ask you to participate. So you'll see how this works. And you'll do it individually and then with your group. So, question. What was the best learning experience that you've ever encountered in your life? Think about a case where you learned a tremendous amount about whatever it was being taught. It may have been in school, elementary, middle, high school, college, university, grad program, or many times people think of something outside of the profession. It may be related to learning a hobby, or some of you in other careers, in a training program. Irrespective of the context, you learned a tremendous amount as a result of learning experience. Now, a couple of qualifiers. Number one, don't think about a single lesson. The most deep and effective learning experiences generally occur over time. So it could have been a number of lessons, or it could have been a course, or a training program. Secondly, this is important. This is not my best or favorite teacher exercise. In fact, I ask you to try to factor the teacher out as much as possible. It's not about the teacher's style and personality as much as it is about how that teacher crafted the learning experience that made it so effective for you. So when we talk about the design of learning, we're talking about things like, what were the goals and how were they communicated? What were the major activities and how did those activities help you learn? How was the sequence and was that influential? What was the process? Did you get to work with others? Did you have any choice? Were there product or performance outcomes? What were the assessments like, and how did they help you learn, not just measure your learning? Was there feedback included, etc.? It's the design of the learning experience that made it so effective that I want to focus on. And in other words, if there was a different teacher who followed the same design, a teacher with a different style or personality, you would have learned nonetheless, because the design was really powerful. That's the focus. Does that make sense? It's not my favorite teacher. It's the elements of the design. When we talk about best learning, we're talking about learning that was engaging. It may have been fun and magical, or it may have been hard and frustrating, but irrespective, you were engaged, and ultimately, it was highly effective. The learning was deep and lasting. Okay, so I'm going to ask each of you to think of such an event or a learning experience that you had. Here is now the process for the exercise. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes by yourself to think carefully about the learning experience and try to deconstruct the elements of it. What were the key factors and the design that made it so effective for you? If you have something to write with or write on or a device you can record, if not, do it mentally. I'm going to ask you just for 3 minutes not to talk, think about your experience. Then I'll invite you to get together with your group mates and briefly share the experience you had and what were the elements that made it so effective for you. Then I want you to listen carefully to each other because the second part of the exercise is really important. After you've heard everyone, but I want you to be listening for any common elements that come out from the various stories. And there will be some, I predict. The last part of the exercise is really important. I'm going to ask someone in your group to be a recorder and go back as a group and identify or summarize some of the key elements that you heard in the various stories. All right, so that's how the exercise works. Then what I'm going to do, which is a departure from many keynotes, is we have some roving microphones. I'm going to ask a couple people to go around and stop at a group at random and ask a spokesperson for that group to give us one of the elements that your group identified as a general observation or general feature of effective learning. I'll do my best to record these, and in 5 minutes or so, we'll have a list of characteristics of deep effective learning from experience of people in this room. And the last part of this, I'm going to make a prediction. I've done this exercise with thousands of educators, teachers, administrators, board members, literally all over the world. And I predict that the list that comes out of this group in 20 minutes or so will be eerily similar to the list generated from other groups doing the same exercise. But we'll test my assertion in about 20 minutes. Okay? So that's the process. The first part of it now is by yourself. And this may be hard. Not talking for 3 minutes, but thinking carefully about your particular example and making note of what made it so noteworthy and effective. Okay? Timer starts now. Just a reminder, as you're listening to the examples, or once you've heard them, make sure you go to part 2 and identify any common elements that you heard from various sources. I'll give you another 2 minutes to generalize if you haven't already done so. So please finish up with that. If I can interrupt your discussions and cogitation comments, I think I'm going to modify my plan just with respect to the conference schedule. But I want to describe next steps. And if you do this with the faculty or with the group back home, this is really an important part. What I typically do would be, in a large room, would have roving microphones going around, and going from group to group, and asking the spokesperson from each group to give us one of the generalizations or common elements they heard from the various stories. And then I recommend that either you or you have somebody record those. See, I have a worksheet here, I was going to record them, or you can do it on a flip chart. But you want to capture the ideas. Typically what I would say would be, so let's hear from this group, and someone might say, well, in our group, all of our examples, we had to make or do something tangible. There was a tangible product of performance needed, and we thought that helped our learning. So I would report that, a tangible product of performance required. And then I might ask somebody from the group, I said, can you give us just an example whereby that generalization came, where it came from? And they might say, Yeah, I was in a cooking class. We had to prepare a meal, and we had taste testers come in, for example. So you make the list. Again, in the interest of our schedule, I think I won't do that because I'm worried about going over. But depending on the size of the group, it takes 10, 15 minutes. But I will show you examples from other groups where we took a few minutes to do that. And let me ask you to see if you had any of these generalizations on your list. This came from a group of administrators in a school district in New York State. Did you have any of these characteristics? My guess is you had some, if not many. Here was another list. This was from an ASCD institute where we did this exercise. You see some similarities between the two groups? That's very common. Let me show you one more. This was from a group of educators in Kamehameha schools in Hawaii. And even though we didn't do it officially, I'm confident that if we did go around and get a list from this group today, we would have similar characteristics, which is reassuring. To me, the bottom line is why I like this exercise as much is we don't need to go to AERA or journals or interview John Hattie to know what deep, meaningful, effective learning is. We've all experienced it in our lives, as have that staff and colleagues. This exercise to me is interesting, it's personal. There's often stories that come out of it. Like I remember one woman who talked about Seaside. She talked about high-stakes assessments and that kind of thing. People remember that. It's personal, but you have a list that then you can work from. And to me, this is a great first step, or first start at identifying a set of learning principles. Now, that's not to say that in a first draft, every body's experience has all those characteristics. Nor is it necessarily the case that everyone is in agreement with all these, but it's a good starting point. And I find this an opening of school activity, a beginning faculty meeting, or opening PD day. Doing this is both a bonding experience, you can know each other in different ways, and you get a list that you can work from. And that's the point. So I wanted to share this with you. I hope you found it interesting, practical, and something you might consider replicating. In the handout I mentioned on page 7 is a worksheet. The top part is individual, where you think about your own learning experience. The bottom is a place for the group to look at commonalities. So that is available to you. What I also included in the handout are the most widely cited characteristics. And this came from literally thousands of responses to this exercise. Grant Wiggins and I compiled those, and I have a summary in the handout. It's my experience that not every group is going to have all of these, but I would be surprised if you didn't have many of them from your group when you do this. So the bottom line is it's an engaging exercise. It gives us a set of characteristics that we can then begin to emulate. A practical idea is to have, let's say you get 4, 5, 7 generalizations, is then to challenge everyone in the school or the district to say, we know these factors affect learning, and we've experienced them. This is our experience we're drawing from. How might we do more of these things more often for our students? That becomes our touchstone. And we can look at our practices, our programs, accordingly. So I hope you found this interesting. I'm going to leave you with another bit of data, if you will, qualitative data, from my friend and colleague, Grant Wiggins. Grant developed a survey that was available to schools and given to secondary students, middle, junior, and senior high school. And in 1 year, he interviewed more than 7,000 students were interviewed from different schools around the country and Canada. And most of the survey questions were selected response form, but there were a couple of open-ended ones. And one that I've always enjoyed looking at responses for was this one. He asked students to think about the most interesting and engaging task, assignment, or project that they had in the school year, that year, in any subject, and to briefly explain why. In the handout, I included 2 pages of very representative student comments. Let me leave you with a few that I got from Grant's survey in the words and spelling of the students. I'm not sure I call it exhilarated, but this child seems to think so. You have your insurance paid up on this. And one more, my favorite. So Grant has thousands of these, and I included a couple dozen in the handout for you to look at. But here's the bottom line, which I think is another thing we know. When we listen to students and ask them questions like these, the data they give us, look at the patterns, are informative. And Grant, in a wonderful blog post, summarizes the characteristics. And by the way, these should be very much in line with the list that your group just generated, or a larger group. So this gives us a very practical way of looking at and reflecting on learning. And my summary is to say, when we think about the new era of learning, and we prepare for the stages coming up, and we look at all the possible initiatives, programs, and restructures we might consider, let us ground any of this work in what we know about deep and meaningful learning, and these learning principles and this exercise that give us that foundation. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you found this interesting. Good luck in your important and life-changing work.